The Japanese katana, known worldwide as the ultimate weapon and a flawless work of art. But did you know that twice in history, these legendary blades came within days of being completely wiped off the face of the earth? This is not just a story of steel, it's a dark history of bans, mass destruction, and a secret cultural war to save the soul of the samurai. Our story begins in 1868. The era of the samurai was collapsing, and Japan was rushing to modernize. In 1876, the government issued the Haitore, the abolition of swords. Overnight, carrying a sword in public became a crime. Samurai lords who held their blades closer than their own lives were forced to surrender their ancestors' souls or become outlaws. Countless masterpieces were melted down, sold to Western tourists for pennies, or hidden in secret underground storehouses, waiting for a day that might never come. But the ultimate extinction event arrived in 1945. Following Japan's defeat in World War II, the US-led GHQ military government occupied the nation. Seeing the katana as a dangerous symbol of militarism, General Douglas MacArthur ordered the immediate confiscation of all weapons. A massive sword hunt began. Hundreds of thousands of historical blades were grabbed from citizens. Troops piled them up like scrap metal, burning them in giant bonfires or dumping them directly into the Pacific Ocean. Ancient treasures from the 14th century were being destroyed alongside mass-produced military swords. Japan was losing its history forever. Seeing their heritage burn, a small group of Japanese appraisers made a desperate gamble. They confronted GHQ officers, arguing, "These are not weapons, they are works of art forged with a spiritual devotion." The gamble worked. In 1948, the NBTHK was officially established, transforming the katana from a banned weapon into a protected cultural masterpiece. To guarantee the value of surviving blades, the NBTHK created a strict multi-tiered appraisal system. This official certification separates ancient masterpieces from mass-produced fakes, restoring the absolute dignity of the katana on the global art market. As the fires of World War II died down, three men stepped into the shadows to pull the katana back from the edge of extinction. The first was Junji Honma, Japan's ultimate sword scholar. Honma refused to let the samurai soul burn. He went directly to the Japanese Prime Minister and engineered a brilliant defense strategy, arguing to the American military that these blades were not weapons of aggression, but irreplaceable masterworks of spiritual art. The second savior was Kanichi Sato, a legendary appraiser who fought on the front line. Millions of swords had been seized and dumped in a U.S. military warehouse in Tokyo, waiting to be destroyed. Sato dove straight into the mountains of rusty iron. Covered in grease and dust, he manually inspected thousands of confiscated blades, risking his life to secretly pull national treasures and ancient masterpieces out of the scrap heaps just hours before they were scheduled for destruction. But the Japanese scholars couldn't do it alone. They needed an ally from the enemy. That ally was Colonel C.V. Cadwell, the Provost Marshal of the U.S. 8th Army. Honma and Sato brought Cadwell to the National Museum and unraveled a 700-year-old masterpiece right before his eyes. Stunned by the ethereal beauty of the steel, the American colonel made a historic pact. "The swords inside this museum are safe under my personal protection." Cadwell leveraged his military power to block other U.S. units from destroying Japan's finest heritage. This secret alliance of former enemies changed history. In 1948, their combined efforts birthed the NBTHK, giving rise to the strict appraisal system that saved the katana forever. Without these three men, the samurai sword would be nothing but a myth today. To display these rescued national treasures to the world, the Japanese Sword Museum was opened, but a museum only preserves the past. To keep the soul alive, Japan needed to forge the future. The crucial secret to the katana is tamahageni, the ultimate jewel steel. In 1977, the NBTHK revived Nitoho Tatara, the only ancient clay furnace in the world authorized to produce this sacred metal. Today, this sacred steel is passed down to licensed modern swordsmiths who use the exact same methods as their ancestors 800 years ago. The katana of today is no longer an instrument of war. It is a living, breathing, legal art form. Against all odds, the flame of the samurai has never been extinguished. Every authentic samurai sword has a story of survival. On this channel, we will unlock the darkest histories, the legendary smiths, and the breathtaking art of genuine Japanese swords. Subscribe now and join us on this journey through history.